Hey guys, welcome to the 4 Posts to Bed. I've got an injury. I've got an athletic injury. I've pulled all the muscles. It's really weird. I'm going to Google in a minute. The muscles across my top buttocks. So it's not even my back really. That's why I know it's muscular. So I guess it's kind of glutes area, but it feels like bone, but it must be muscular. Now, what did I do yesterday? Well, of course, I did my first burlesque fitness show. I'll try and get it up today if I can make it to the big computer. I've got a big computer which requires standing, and I did that on purpose because otherwise I'll just stay in bed all day drawing, and that's what I did yesterday. After I'd done the Keep Fit show, I did my flyers for both shows, the Freak's Kitchen and the fitness show, which I've called Verve. So I have to go and change all the names, and I just really like that word, Verve, and it looks really good. But a consequence of that and doing the release, the artwork for the Parisian collection, I was lying in bed. I mean, sitting upright, but, for many, many hours. And then I got up and I walked across the bedroom and there was this kind of ping, and I went incredibly dizzy and I ended up on the floor. I didn't faint. I mean, I had to get down on the floor because the dizziness was over the top. And I'm a little bit weird this morning because I've taken my drugs for muscle relaxants, which I'm prescribed, because this does happen a lot with me. I must say, it's not the first time. I've got rid of all my neck pain and I've started exercising because my physio said it was okay. And now I've got a bloody massive injury. I've got so much to do today, guys. I've got to go and get foodstuffs. I'm looking for weird ingredients I've never heard of before to make vegan cheese. So I'm on a real hunt today for that. Starch. There's like tapioca starch and some other kind of starch, and apparently it's very flavoursome and it tastes like cheese. Now, back in the old days, you used to make cheese with Vegemite and soya flour, which I remember being really tasty. Somebody was slating it online, and I thought, I wonder if, that's how true that is. So I might try and just get the Vegemite today and do the soya flour because that's cheap. These other ones use cashew nuts and all these weird additives. And you just think, it's a lot of work. But also you need a blender. And for the soya flour and the Vegemite, you don't need a blender, you see. My blender hasn't arrived yet. So what's new? Well, I've woken up to our head of the army, forgive me for not knowing his name, saying that we could have conscription. And I just thought, my grandsons, I mean, I don't want them being forced into war and fighting. How is this still happening in 2024? How have we not moved on? I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? And apparently it's the Russians and the Iranians who are our main enemies and liable to, cause problems in the future. Now, I am all for having an army as a defence. I think, I am a serviceman's daughter, naval, but to actually use it, I mean, I think you need defence mechanisms. It's very important. People know they can't walk in and take over your citizens, obviously, but to actually use war as a method, do you know what I mean? It just seems all a bit, I don't know. I'm not sure about all this. I'm not sure I agree with it. I certainly don't want my grandsons having to go to war. And maybe women too, because who knows, if there's a war in 10 years or 20 years, perhaps it won't involve combat. It will all be about, buttons and drones and such like. And presumably women can do that just as well. I mean, I would guess. I mean, I will be the first to admit that I can't park and I have very little spatial awareness. The first person to admit that. And they say that's a very female thing. Now, does that mean you can't fly a zone and kill people? A drone, rather? I'm not sure. I don't know. You may perhaps write to me on my Twitter and let me know. So what else? My flyer for Verve is so fantastic. Do you know what? It's the best flyer I've ever made. And I make a lot of flyers because I've always got some business venture that I'm doing. Or when I used to run the club and I had art events, art exhibitions and other events all the time, every week, I used to do a lot of flyers. But they were rubbish compared to my one for the Verve yesterday. So really, really pleased with that. I did put it on my Twitter. It's on my cover photo on my Twitter and on my Facebook. And I was doing the food, right? So I made a lunch and I thought it looked lovely. My daughter said it looks like mould. It looks inedible for a start. It looks terrifying and it looks like mould is growing from it. And that was my sprouts, my sprouted seeds from the sprout thing. Now, all it was beetroot, tofu, sort of mixed it up vaguely, added, topped it with, seeds, chia, sunflowers, that sort of thing. Because I'm all about the textures. The textures are so important. And I just shoved it all on a plate, took a photo, expected everyone to go, oh, wow, that looks amazing. But actually, the colour was all wrong. The beetroot looked brown because I covered it in balsamic vinegar, which was probably a mistake on its own. And my daughters were like, no, you can't. It's horrific. So I did exactly the same recipe, right? And then I did the beetroot, a semicircle of beetroot, but chopped it into little squares, but kept the shape. Do you see what I mean? Popped that on the plate. Actually, before I did that, I got the seeds and I made a heart shape with the seeds. And then I did 3 slices of tofu in a fan shape. And then I got my sprouted seeds and I put them in a tiny ramekin dish. And then I did olive oil and balsamic with some chilies on and put those in a ramekin dish and put those at the side. And it looked divine, guys. I have put pictures up everywhere. I was so thrilled that I'd made something. But I want to go for that sort of nouvelle cuisine, but really super healthy, that you will live till you're 120. But that's the premise. And I ate it after I'd photographed it, and it tasted so much better. The only difference was the olive oil. Everything else was the same. And you dip the greens, the sprouts, the sprouted seeds, into the olive oil and balsamic, and it just sends you to other level happiness. It really did. And then you can kind of use a fork and you just mix up your tofu and your beetroot. I did pour some beetroot sauce on as well, or beetroot juice rather, from the beetroot that came in the packet. I didn't need any extra. So these are ready cooked beetroots. I get them from Aldi. Absolutely incredible what the difference that it made to my brain. But also I was so pleased with the display, and I thought, this is art. This is, because my daughter said they use a lot of tweezers and what was the other thing she said? I can't remember, but definitely a lot of tweezers, to place things. And I thought, right, well, I don't think I need tweezers for this one. I need cotton buds, because my sauce was going places I didn't want it to. So I was soaking it up with cotton buds. Then there was a little streak on the plate, and my daughter said, no, you can get rid of that in the post-edit. So I thought, the post-edit, of course. I mean, I can't believe, I always post-edit myself and other people, and I post-edit every photograph I've ever taken. Why I didn't think you could post-edit food, I've no idea. So I took it into my post-edit, which I've got a very basic one, which is with Google. And with the Google one, it's about £2 a month. And that's just so cheap, isn't it? All these other ones, they're £6 or £10, and you just think, what? Well, the Google one, £1.89 or something it is. I'm going to give it a recommend because of its affordability. And you can just up those colours a bit. But then I took them into Procreate, which is just my go-to. I just love my Procreate. And I just blend the streaks in. Just blend them in with a soft brush. Absolutely fantastic. Then take it into my enlarging. I've got a software package. I don't know what it's called, but it just makes all your photos high res. And there it was. Absolutely the most superb photograph I've ever taken of my lunch. So pleased with that, guys. Really, really chuffed with that. So all very doable. I've gone from creating a mess that nobody would want to eat in their wildest dreams to creating something absolutely beautiful. Now, the day before, I created a recipe. Oh, no, it was the morning, actually. And I just got my my AI to do it, which worked really well as well, but not as good as my wonderfully creative effort with my tofu and beetroot. So try and go and have a look at that. Now, my bat, I got a picture of a bat, right, a drawing, and I superimposed it over the top of, this was with a logo maker that I use, really good logo maker. Let me see if I can find what it's called. I'll have to put my glasses on, guys. Hope you can still hear me. I think I'm recording. No, I can't. I'm afraid I can't actually. Oh, image size. Is that what it's called? It's called image size. Okay, well, that's easy enough, isn't it? I think that's easy enough. So, yeah, I hope that recorded. Yeah, I think it did. I downloaded it from the internet from my app store. It was a one-off payment. I think it was about £12, but I've got it forever, and it just ups the res, so makes your pictures much clearer and a bigger size, so you can put them on dresses. That's what I wanted it for. At the press of a button, and I'm doing them all at 8,000. I think it can only go up to 9999. Oh my God. It doesn't go up above that, I think. If I want above that, I would scan a picture in at 1200 on my scanner, or use a different bit of software. Anyway, they come out much better, the lines are much, they're more well defined, etc., etc. So that's a bit of a good tip there. But really, what I'm doing is this series of Parisian with my AI. I'm not really using it for anything else. It is very good. It's a very good business tool, guys. I must say that AI is taking the laborious, repetitive work out of any type of advertising, or any type. Well, yeah, advertising. I mean, bowls of food that I haven't made in my kitchen myself. They're advertising props, aren't they? And that the AI does that brilliantly. It also did my goth kitchen quite well. But these are all for flyers and images and, social media. It was brilliant. AI is brilliant for social media. And funny enough, there's a site that I joined, which was a vegan site on Facebook. And the whole thing is just done with AI. So, and then you can see all the mistakes it makes, but it writes in this language that my AI was using, Chat GPT. It was using exact, or is it GTP? It was using exactly the same words. It only has a selection of words that it uses all the time. I mean, I can't think of them now, but they're ridiculous words. So you can really tell when a human has written an article or when an AI has. So it does this article. I mean, it's very, very good. It's got loads of followers on the Facebook page, and, basically you do your picture with your recipe, and then you write the link to your website in the comments. So I'm going to learn from that, and I'm going to do that today. And I'll still use the AI for the stuff that I can't be asked to do. Basically, AI is a servant. It should be used as such. It's not anything more. Don't give it any respect, really. I don't mean to be rude to servants. Anyway, telltellerclub.com and iServalan.com. And how exciting. I'll try and if I can get out of bed. I don't know if my back's going to improve during the day. I'm a bit drugged up.